What about DPS Kachina indeed? So I chose to wait to make a DPS Kachina video because mostly on my account, I just didn't have the components to make DPS Kachina work. Like you can definitely make her work without Xilonen, but you're gonna go down like more the mono geo route, and I don't know. Xilonen I think gives her a lot more compelling team options because Xilonen, as long as we're doing 2 Pyro, Hydro, Cryo, or Electro teammates, we'll get Red Shred buff and the geo damage bonus from the Scroll artifact set, and we are going to use Xilonen's signature weapon here as well because, quite frankly, DPS Kachina isn't going to be the most insanely strong thing. By the way, I literally just leveled up her skill to level 8. I don't know if spending that like 400,000 more will be worth it, but I mean, look, we're gonna give DPS Kachina the best shot I can. There is an Abyss Blessing, it's worth mentioning, going on right now. We'll get 80% skill damage bonus for Kachina. That is where most of her damage comes from. So if we press her E, we can jump on the Turbo Twirly, and doing this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. We just got some extra there because of the Natlan Phlogiston. Technically, we can get that out a few more times if we use her burst. This might be enough ER to burst consistently. And you can see my build, I have Deathmatch on her. Idea with Deathmatch is, it can give death percent, and it gives a bunch of crit rate. Hey, 100% crit rate build. Yes, it's overcapped at 1%, whoop-de-doo. By the way, it is worth mentioning, I guess, that you can DPS Kachina off-field. You could do 4-piece Golden Droop or something if you want to maximize her off-field skill damage, but her highest multiplier version is from her on-field damage. And ultimately, I just think it's more fun to do this. Like, I don't know, if you're going to DPS Kachina, that's probably because this is silly, right? Of course. There is some nuance, by the way, to that ability. With the most relevant thing about it is it does count as a normal attack animation. But that means you can trigger Xilon, your Sing Cho, you can trigger C6 Fischl. Alright, any normal attack triggering ability. Like, her multipliers are not very high, so our goal is gonna, it's Furina. And like, I'll be honest, I personally feel like I've been using Furina too much in like the last year she's been out, but I don't know, this is what Bahoyo did. They released like the universal buffing character that's just, yeah, like what other options do I have for buffing Kachina? I could do C6 Goro technically, but if I do that, then I have to activate Xilonen C2 for her to be a buffer. And we actually might activate this video just because, I don't know, it'll be interesting maybe to see how much Kachina's damage goes up with this. There are ways to make like Mono Geo, like do Zhongli, Chiori, C6 Goro instead of Xilonen. I don't have Zhongli is probably the main takeaway, so it really wouldn't work that well for me. The point being, the Furina Xilonen synergy is why I'm doing this. And we're going to check a couple different team variants to see what my favorite is. Realistically, I think the strongest variant is going to be Xilon, right? It's the Furina Xilon combo. I actually kind of like the idea of using Fischl more in some situations. By the way, I do have C2 Furina, but I'll leave her semi-powered down. I do have a Hydro Goblet on her. Although, okay, if I activate Xilonen C2, that's going to make her even more stronger. Point is, I have more ER than I need, especially for doing double Hydro, to say the least. I could put a stronger build on her, but I want to keep Furina's damage somewhat relatable. Obviously, her C2 will help me get damage bonus stacks a little bit easier with Xilonen as the only healer in the team. Kachina's field time is low enough that I think you could just swap between different units to try to maximize a C0 or C1 Furina's damage bonus with Xilonen on a healing focus build. Like, she can heal like 8,000 HP per tick. I will actually probably try Siejuin though. Obviously, if you have Siejuin as a team-wide healer, Xilonen's on-field healing is much less important, and like you wouldn't even have to bother making sure you burst consistently at all if you're doing Siejuin. And the reason I think this is interesting is because Siejuin, and you know what? If we do this, let me put her off of this stupid bow. And God, I hate the fact that I have R4 of this thing. I'm gonna put her on my level 80 Raven bow. But the thing I'm interested in trying here is like you can use MH on Siejuin, and she can have a bunch of HP. So she's gonna buff Furina's damage, and we can do something like use Kachina's skill. Right, so we could do this, right, and then we switch to Xilonen, do Furina. Actually, we probably do Furina before we activate the skill, right? And then we do like burst on Siejuin while this is getting a couple hits out or whatever, or we save it for later. And then we jump back onto the thing and do the plunges. And we can use her burst, hopefully if we're bursting consistently, to be able to regenerate some Night Soul points after letting it go from off-field a little bit, and Siejuin will have her passive that buffs skill damage from off-field, right? So it'd be a mix like off-field, on-field, dual DPS, the weird characters that people don't consider DPSing normally. So actually, I don't know, this might be one of the more compelling teams I'm gonna try. But we're gonna try the Fischl variant first, just because it's like, I think this is the lowest like investment variation because Fischl's a 4-star unit.
All right, let's finish this fast.
I mean, hey, without any buffs up, we're doing 14k. That's not bad at all. Not bad at all. We're gonna check with the Capybara first because I think, like, I'm pretty sure Kachina, one of the advantages she has, I think this does quite a lot of like poise damage. So I think the Capybara should just be kind of permanently stun locked. All right, so I think the ideal rotation might be something like this, do this, do that. All right, do skill, do Fischl. And then jump on the thing. I didn't jump on the thing. 1, 2, 3, 16k is, I mean, for having the buff up, not that significant. What? It looks like this is probably not enough ER to burst consistently. But yeah, suffice to say, right, we're using Xilonen and Farina to buff her, and we're only doing that much damage. It's not like it's unusable. Obviously, this team can deal just like he never dies is going to die, right? It's just like you could. Can I stop running away with this dang thing? Do we actually? Yeah, we do stun him. That was correct. So, anyways, right? The damage potential from Kachina here is like 100,000 damage in a rotation, which, considering we're using 2 of the strongest buffers, you know, and I have like signature weapon on Xilonen, and you know, C2 Farina is helping a bit here too. It's not great. Is it unusable? No, I definitely don't think it's unusable. This is exactly kind of what I expected, quite frankly. Also, her cooldown makes things weird, and that's why that wasn't my issue because I was yapping. Yeah, her cooldown makes things goofy there, and that's why I think I kind of might really like the idea of just doing Xilonen instead here. So let's try that. I'm using a weird like triple HP setup on her, and hopefully she will have enough ER to burst consistently, so she'll do some buffing. And yeah, I don't know, this will be interesting. I do think I am going to actually switch Kachina over to the higher ER flower. Yeah, as much as I like the Fischl Farina combo, I think I'm going to probably... Oh, God, man, I hate the Natland thing where you just run away from things. I think I'm probably going to use one of the double Hydro variants for Abyss. Just because, like, I don't know, the cooldowns and, like, the way it flowed didn't feel very good to me. It might be fine, and again, there's, of course, advantages to bringing Electro into the team. Oh, yes, Kachina's energy cost is, like, freaking 70, by the way. And her particle generation is RNG. Like we actually just generate a whole bunch of energy there, but I believe it's something like a 50. I don't remember exactly. It's RNG on hits. So as far as like, oh, what are her energy needs? Well, technically, if you get lucky, Kachina's energy needs can be a lot lower. If you don't get lucky, they can be a lot higher, and that is so annoying. So even switching to the higher, you know, ER build here, hopefully it will let us burst pretty consistently. The RNG on her particle generation might mean we just sometimes don't anyways. So yay for RNG particle generation. Oh yeah, her burst, by the way, increases the AoE of her skill damage. So like Kachina's strongest use case for DPS potential would be in some kind of weird abyss cycle where there's like 10 enemies or something, and you're doing, you know, 20k damage to each of the 10 enemies at once. All right, so let's do Farina, I think, to start, and then of course you, and then do this, and then we'll do this, and then do this. We're starting with Xilonen. Where did he go? Where did he go? Okay. Can I do that? All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, it's not taking any damage because of the thing, but oh well. That flowed pretty decently well, actually, I think, honestly. Let's do that. Do that. Do that. There we go. Nice, getting 40k down. This is a lot of damage on a Raven Bow build. And we still don't have enough energy to burst consistently. Oh, there we go. Hey, look at that. We got enough. Wait, where's the thing? Why is it over there? What happened? What? I couldn't... it exited me and I couldn't get back on it. What? That was what? Huh? Okay. Anyways, sorry. I do not know why it like exited me from the thing. That is part of the, I think what I just experienced there is one of those jank things I mentioned about her C2. I don't really get what they're going for. So yeah, this still feels kind of weird because of that. We can do that, and then there we go. See, that's what I wanted. I wanted to like cast it and then jump on it again, but I couldn't, which was weird. So, anyways, we're succeeding here, and like this one has felt the best, I think, of the variants. Oop, I didn't mean to do that. Weird Natland things, and we can. Oh god, freaking dang it! So I don't know. Well, that's worth it. There we go. Use burst, regenerate skill points. Like we sacrificed a bit of damage, obviously going to the higher ER build and whatnot. But is working. I think that was the cheaty thing we got there. So, it's weird. I don't know. I think this is an interesting option. We'll go check Xilon quick. We're just going to beat up the capybara again and see if we prefer this team over the Siegewing team for Abyss here. Do that. Do this. Do 1, 2 bursts. I didn't actually land that hit. And we're doing 15k again, right? And then now it's kind of weird. Yep, yeah. See, this is what I was talking about, where we have like a weird cooldown mismatch for most teammates. Ah! Oops. We have a weird cooldown mismatch, right, for our teammates, such that there's no one that's, I think, like a super obvious choice, but the Siegewing team, unironically, I think felt the best. Well, I don't know what it shows. It shows. Well, no, it shows the Siegewing team is more tanky, right? That's what it shows. All right, there we go. We stunned him. I think we had to cheat a little bit, to be clear, but that's fine. We would not have had to cheat if we had some things. It's not stupid, anyways. All right, you need to. All right, then the Natlan like movement thingies with the auto switching is kind of annoying me for testing here. So you know what? We're gonna go fight the classic on his high HP mode, of course. I haven't actually fought Masadori since the world level 9 increase in 5.0. I suppose he's probably a lot more tanky now. Maybe he is a better testing subject. He at least won't one-shot me, probably. Alright, that. Wham. That. Oh, he is still not very tanky. No, he is still definitely not very tanky. 15k. Yeah, you can see we're triggering Xilon. Oh, let's not forget to do that. And blam, blam. And hey, we... there we go. We killed him in one rotation. Yep, I think it was fine. The suffice to say, I think, you know, the Frida Xilon Xilonen combo is probably enough DPS that you can kind of just on-field Kachina and it'll be decent. But I think the most unique team variant was the Siegewing variant, so we're gonna go try the Siegewing variant in Abyss. And you know what? Since you already saw the more relatable damage from Siegewing, she still got 40k damage, right? So I'm gonna switch her back to Aqua because I would like to, I don't know, just have fun with seeing big damage numbers. It would be nice if it was easier to get big damage numbers from Kachina. Like Kachina's DPS is all reliant on her like baseline multipliers, and then even with strong buffers, because her baseline multipliers are low and there's no amplifying reactions, whatever, it's not really possible to make her ever do a ton of damage, which is a little unfortunate. Like, quite frankly, she does so little geo damage, right, that it would be a lot better to do like a C6 Bennett for Arena Cloud Retainer. That would be better, right? And then you could just configure Kachina for pyro damage. I guess, you know what, to end off the video, we'll probably go and try that team, but first let's try, you know, an actual geo damage focused team. But I think what's fun about DPS Kachina, of course, is just the silly, you know, bang 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 on her drill. So doing plunges, I kind of think mostly invalidates the fun of it. Sprinting damage bonus, hey, that'll do something. All right, so I think, yeah, we start with you, and I still think it makes sense to do this first and then Siegewing, because we'll get a little bit of buff like skill damage. Right, yeah, we see we got 22k from it, and then we can cast it over here, we put it back down, and then we can start doing bang bang bang. Right, I think that kind of is like the ideal rotation of this team. I think that feels pretty decent. Alright, apparently the tiny has a bit more energy on her. That's a little bit annoying. Okay. Oh, well, okay. I forgot about the Hydro dude. Oh, well, hey, we're good to test the full extent of Kachina's damage. Wee, look at that HP bar go down. Oh boy. Yup. I think we'll still clear, but because of this Hydro immune enemy that I completely forgot about, this is a context where Official would have been a lot better. Of course. So, you know, keep that in mind. It's proof of my point that I had earlier where an Official is sometimes situationally better, like when you have Hydro immune enemies. Crazy. Wait, are we even going to be able to clear? Oh god. That's really unfortunate if we can't even clear with, like, the extremely strong team ahead on the first side. Yeah, man, her cooldown is so... Oh. Okay. I think I might just forgo not 3-starring this chamber, and that's really unfortunate. I definitely can 3-star this chamber on my account with Official here instead, right? But... yeah, yeah. Oh. Having to, like, recast her skill after bursting is really goofy. Yeah, I don't know. The cooldowns just, like, never feel like that makes sense. In conjunction with how you want to, like, use C2 to get extra Night Soul. It's just... everything's just really goofy with this, with DPSing Kachina, quite frankly. This is probably... Like people call, you know, Mualani clunky. I think Kachina DPSing is probably more clunky. But, you know, like, she's more clunky, and I don't know if you noticed, but she gets a little bit less damage than Mualani. Well, okay, technically, in that specific situation, Kachina got infinitely higher damage than Mualani could ever get. Because Mualani, it is impossible to deal anything other than Hydro damage against that thing, and it's Hydro immune. Therefore, Kachina is literally infinitely stronger than Mualani, technically. Wait, actually no, Mualani has the weird event catalyst, so that's not true. Doing a meme physical build on Mualani or Nuvilette probably deals more damage than Kachina. Feel free to go watch my Nuvilette physical video if you want to see proof of that, but quite frankly, it's sadly true. A meme physical Nuvilette build with the event weapon is stronger than DPS Kachina, even with Xilonen Farina. Oof. Alright, but surely we won't have a problem in the next chamber. I'm pretty confident we won't have a problem in the next chambers because, you know, we can actually have our Hydro damage dealers. Crazy idea, I know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. By the way, 80% skill damage bonus is doing so much less than I expected. Like, I really didn't want to have to burst to deal with this dude, but no, well, it's fine. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, right? Like, 80% skill damage bonus, and we went from like 14k in Overworld to 18k in Abyss. That's not a very significant increase. Oh dear. Oh dear. 1, 2, 3, 4. You're at your breakpoint, so we're not going to use our burst. Alright, that's fine. I mean, hey, you know, there is one upside of DPS Kachina. She's tanky. Because you build her for defense, right? So, that's something. That is definitely something. Do that. Oh, god dang it. Okay, well. No, it's doing nothing. But, yeah, 60k, yeah, we're doing, like, quite a lot more than we were with Rainbow, unsurprisingly. I meant to say... I don't know what I meant to say. He's dead, and I killed him with Kachina. Oh, good. My energy situation, because I used my burst at the end of the Kinky Chamber. Oh, well. Is what it is. Oh, you know what? You know what we might see? We might see if my activating Xilonens constellations would make this team, like, in that, because the biggest failure here, right, was the first chamber. So I want to see if activating Xilonens constellations will let us clear with 3 stars in the first chamber. Right, against the Hydra immune enemy. Can even Xilonen C2 get us to the point of success here? Almost all of our damage is coming from the Hydra damage dealer. She doesn't do no damage. She doesn't do no damage. But it really is not that much. that. 1, 2. Oh gosh, are we even not gonna kill this dude? Oh, okay. Well, we do that, and we do 1, 2, and we restart. We're not going to use Siege Wing because we don't want Siege Wing to get the kill. This is not a Siege Wing video. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, Kachina did all the work there. I might regret activating this. I might regret getting it because man, Xilonen C2, it can definitely make a big difference. Obviously, these are a lot of stats it gives. The weird Electro refunding thing is my favorite part of this. I plan to do shenanigans with it. But anyways, for this video, we're going to just see how much 50% more geo damage bonus does for her. I mean, yeah, we're getting 18k damage now, but here's the real challenge. Well, we'll see. 19k damage now. Oh my! Oh, almost 20k. Oh, is that enough to actually clear this? Maybe. So I think I'm gonna fail this again, but I'm pretty sure if I did this a little bit better, hey, we can get 50k from her. I'm pretty sure if I did this a little bit better, I would have been able to actually clear this time, even against this dude being Hydro immune. But it's still like takes optimization, you know, like it's not like it magically makes her do a lot of damage. It just makes her do a little bit more damage. So yeah, the solution is obviously bringing Fischl to this team instead of Siege Wing. But we need to embrace the inevitable, and that is the plunging. Oh, you know what's interesting with plunge DPS Kachina? You can use the Night Soul. She does go into Night Soul state, right? When you do her thing. You just don't jump on the twirly thing, and you just do plunges instead, right? Yeah, we can still use this set, but not with a... We're going to use, you know, this attack timepiece, this circlet, and we'll yoink my Dia's Goblet. And realistically, I think Homa's probably going to be best, although it depends what our crit looks like. Yep. I don't have 4-piece VV on my Cloud Retainer, by the way. I usually just use her on Noblesse, which I believe is what she's on now, and that's technically bad because my Bennett is also on Noblesse. But, oh well. Bam. That didn't crit. 85k. Wow, that's as much damage as she did, like, through her full geo rotation. With 1 plunge. Why? I'll be honest, it does kind of make me sad. Because, like, I feel like it was unnecessary. Oh, there we go. I feel like it was unnecessary for them to make her that bad of a geo DPS, right? Right, like it's one thing for plunge to be better and for her to be undertuned because she's a 4-star, you know, free character. But like, did she need to be that bad that 1 plunge with Cloud Retainer is better, basically? I don't know, right? Like, like there's 100k. Right, I don't think I really need to optimize my play here. It's not really the point. The point is, you know, that we can get 100k plunges. And it's definitely a better way to DPS her, that's for sure. It's definitely not to say that, you know, DPS Kachina isn't fun. It is definitely fun doing this. I just don't really get why Mihoyo's just like, oh god, we can't make her have any damage at all. Like, that's what it feels like, right? Because, oh, she's a free character or something. Because God forbid, right? Forbid we have accessible options for, you know, damage dealers. It's great that they release her as a free character that can use the support set, right? And that she's an accessible buffer. But I don't know, like, this is what I wanted to do. I just wanted to do that and get good damage. But unfortunately, even with, you know, really high investment things going on, it's not that great. But at least she's a really useful character at C0 for her supportive utility. The very fact that she doesn't do much damage, I think, pushes you towards more trying to utilize her kit for something else, like something goofy like building her for EM. Quite frankly, of any DPS character that, you know, I've done for characters that don't actually deal that much damage, Kachina has been, quite frankly, one of the worst. And I think that's a little bit sad for how fun, you know, this is.